Yeah, holy, this turnout is crazy. I'm, I'm good thing I'm recording this. Um, there's so many people, I just don't know. Okay, anyway. There's no way I'm gonna catch you. Anyway, so okay, here's our pre-jam workshop. So we're going to be going over like kind of some of the best practices, like things to know for like coming up for ideas with for your game, and also like how to get set up with like version control. That's going to be really important if you're working on a team with like multiple programmers. So Anthony here is our new education member, and he just went through a grueling hackathon. And so he's going to tell us a little bit about how to survive such an event.
Yeah, uh, as Ixa said, I did a hackathon like this weekend. Looks like you also did a hackathon. Yeah, but um, to like get stuff done, it is like kind of unfortunate that like you can't really spend that much time doing things like sleeping or eating or really anything other than programming. Um, but like still do try to eat and drink and take breaks. I mean, like I didn't sleep the first day of it, and that's really bad because like then I got really unproductive. So I think like even like short naps are really helpful throughout the whole thing, and like I don't know, it's like a grind. It's like a grind, but like it's not going to be very easy to do it if you just keep grinding instead of taking breaks.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to add, like for me, like one of like the biggest issues in like a jam or hackathon is like keeping motivation up. Like you always start off like really motivated, tons of ideas, you're excited with your team. After like once you hit like the halfway point and like your game is like not even close to done, and it's like everything is awful, and like you're like fighting with your teammates over what to do. It can be hard to like keep the motivation up. So like I say like don't be afraid of change. Like if you haven't made a lot of progress and you need to like de-scope, just do it. Like it's better to get something out the door that's like not what you wanted than to not finish at all. Especially because you're gonna get a hat if you get something out the door. Okay, everyone who submits gets a free hat, and also work with your team. Like I feel like being too stubborn is like it can like definitely like kill your team if you're not willing to like make compromises and like get other people's feedback. So yeah, I just wanted to add that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and also like adding on to that, like some of the people who won the hackathon actually did not have finished products at all. So like, it's not like if you can't finish a product, it's not over. Like, be transparent about it and like just say like I mean, the judges will know that you only have like 48 hours tops to make it. So like, they're not
Exactly.
expecting a triple A game
Yeah.
out of it.
I mean, like for the Triangle Jam, we were like 4 days in, and we got like our first kind of like demo done, and we like played through it, and like had a friend play through it, and I think everyone in the team was just like, oh no, like this might not make kind of knows. What if this like doesn't work at all? But we like kept the motivation up. We like changed a lot of things about the core design of the game, and then we ended up winning. Not to brag, so definitely be okay with that. Okay, so I just want to give a brief demonstration of how to do version control. So if you don't know what version control is, like it's basically just a way for you to work concurrently with your team on the same project without having to like manually like send each other files. It's also like if you break something, you can go back to like a previous commit of the project. So like really like even for a solo project, you should be using version control. But it's basically necessary if you're working on a team with like multiple programmers. So like, person A can be working on script A, person B can be working on script B at the same time. Then you can both commit separately and then merge back into the same game. So I usually just use Git. I I like GitHub Desktop because like you don't have to work with like the command line. It's like super beginner friendly. It's like you can just install it here, desktop.github.com/download, and get it set up. And then like once you open it, basically what you're gonna want to do is create a new repository and just call it whatever, call it like jam. You want to include a git ignore. So I think yeah, Unity is just like here by default. if you're working with an engine that isn't like listed, we have a resource list with git ignores for like all the major engines, right? So so the git ignore is just like it's just telling Git like it shouldn't be keeping track of certain files like cache files, like your library stuff like that. And then so yeah, I'll go ahead and create this repository. It creates it at that um, like directory. And then when I open Unity Hub, um, when I like create a new project, I can select the folder I want. So it just created this jam folder. I can select that, and then when I'm back on Git, I can publish a repository and then share it with my teammates, and then everyone will have access. And yeah, it'll be great. You just have to commit, make sure you're not like overwriting each other's files. But yeah, it makes it a lot way streamlines the process of like working in a team. So yeah, and then we wanted to talk a little about ideation. Like, how do you come up with an idea for your game? It's kind of like an under discussed part of development. I feel like so often like teams can spend like way too long coming up with an idea and then they like don't have enough time to develop it, or they get like really caught up on an idea that they like that just isn't feasible. It's like way too ambitious or something. It doesn't fit the theme, stuff like that. So I just had a few points here. Like, try to avoid surface level interpretations of the theme. Like most any jam worth its salt is gonna have a theme that's kind of up to interpretation. And probably the first thing you think of when you hear the theme, like the most basic reading of it, probably like everyone is going to do that. So you want to be more unique, like think creatively about like, how can I interpret this in like an interesting way? You want that kind of like moment when people play your game. Since you're doing a jam, like you're not gonna have the most polished, amazing game in the world, but what you can have is a super interesting, unique, creative game. And so that's what you should be striving for, not just like a really basic, whatever. And then I also say like kill your babies, like this is like it's like a phrase that like is big in like writing communities. Basically, it just means like so often you will get really invested in like one idea, like one, maybe it's like one mechanic in your game or like one moment, one scene, and maybe it works originally, but then things change. The project gets reworked, and suddenly the scene doesn't work that well anymore. But you really want to keep it, even though it's creating problems for you. So basically, kill your babies is like, even if you really are attached to this moment, if it's not working, you have to accept that. And then finally, like, don't be looking for the perfect idea. Like, you only get a weekend. You don't want to spend an entire day coming up with an idea. You should spend like a good amount of time thinking about it. But if you're like talking with your team and like there's like a deadlock, no one can agree on what to do, like you gotta fold. Like, just like we were saying before, like you just need to like get a move on and start actually making a game. You know, ideas are a little bit a dime a dozen. You don't need to be like stressing over like the perfect idea. Just make it good enough. And then I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I think the kill your babies is very important, but without killing like real babies. Like,
Well,
it's
you
like
can do that
you're,
too.
well, ooh, I can't endorse that.